President Biden has a winter plan to tackle the increasing number of COVID-19 cases we're seeing across the country.
We should all be concerned about Omicron, but not panicked. If you're fully vaccinated, and especially if you got your booster shot, you are highly protected.
No, he did not announce any kind of lockdown, but he did say his administration plans to do several things, including purchasing 500 million rapid at-home COVID-19 tests to send to American households for free. Starting in January, you'll be able to request those using a new website. Establish new testing sites across the country, including in New York, where we've been seeing extremely long lines for tests. Deploy 1,000 military doctors, medics, and nurses in January and February. They will spread out across the country to help relieve exhausted hospital staff. Plus, immediately send an additional 100 federal medical personnel to Michigan, Indiana, Wisconsin, Arizona, New Hampshire, and Vermont, on top of the 300 who were already sent out. FEMA will be helping hospitals and capacity with more beds to treat COVID patients. FEMA will also set up new pop-up vaccination and booster clinics in high-demand areas. And the president will continue to utilize the Defense Production Act to produce more COVID-19 tests and supplies. It looks like the Department of Homeland Security is going back to construction along the border wall, but it's not really what you think. So the Biden administration announced yesterday that the Department of Homeland Security is taking up several projects along the border wall between the United States and Mexico. They're doing things like closing small gaps in the actual wall that remain open and unfinished from prior construction, completing or installing drainage along the border to prevent flooding and mitigating soil erosion, completing the prior construction of patrol, maintenance, and access roads used by Border Patrol agents, and getting rid of all the leftover building junk that's kind of just been sitting there since construction shut down. Now, if you remember, President Biden stopped all Trump-era border wall activities on his very first day in office, and since then, the Department of Defense and the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers have been canceling and closing down those border wall contracts, shutting down the projects. But that has left a lot of stuff unfinished, and Homeland Security Secretary says that unfinished work has left some dangerous conditions for Americans who live along the border and Border Patrol agents who work along the border. These projects will begin in the new year in the Border Patrol's San Diego, El Centro, Yuma, Tucson, El Paso, and Del Rio sectors. It's also important to note the administration continues to face several lawsuits from environmental groups and the ACLU over the border wall construction. These lawsuits argue significant damage was caused to the environment, wildlife, and protected lands while pieces of the border wall were being constructed under the Trump administration. And if you're keeping score, according to the Trump administration between 2017 and 2020, Border Patrol says about 438 miles of border wall system was built. The majority of it was not technically new wall construction, but instead it was much needed replacement for existing barriers that were in pretty bad shape.